This is the third part of the section on biology. I'm going to read here from Frank Turek's book, Stealing from God. The section titled, You Are More Amazing Than You Thought. So we're going to pick up where we left off here. So evolutionists ask us to believe that unintelligent processes have done all the amazing things in our body, have created all of that. He says there is a goal-directedness not to just an embryo, but also in every cell of your body. Your cells come in many different types and sizes, but 10,000 average-sized human cells can fit on the head of a pin. 10,000 cells in the head of a pin. And each individual cell is a world of astonishing complexity and activity that is unrivaled by any human invention. Imagine magnifying one of your cells 1 billion times. So you blow a cell up 1 billion times until it is the size of a giant airship more than 12 miles across, large enough to cover over the entire city of New York. If we could do that, says biologist Michael Denton, we would see factory-like activity everywhere. We would see millions of openings in this giant airship, like portholes, that allow materials to flow in and out in precisely the right amounts and in precisely the right order. We would see an endless system of corridors branching in every direction, some to the memory banks of the nucleus and others to processing units and assembly plants. We would also see the nucleus blown up to more than 10 football fields across, and that nucleus would contain miles of coded chains of DNA molecules stacked together in precisely ordered sequences. Those DNA sequences comprise the information software that directs your cell operations. We would see that 3.5 billion letter programmed message in each one of your 40 trillion cells. I'll say that again. We would see 3.5 billion programmed letters in each one of your 40 trillion cells. That's your DNA. That is the book of life. He then goes on to say, we would also see scores, sometimes hundreds, of normally microscopic molecular machines, each executing a different goal-directed mission to manufacture specific biological products. We would then see those products continually checked for errors and automatically corrected. In fact, the molecular machines whirling inside of you right now are such engineering marvels that biologists cannot help but describe their parts with engineering names. There are molecular motors, switches, shuttles, sensors, tweezers, propellers, stators, bushings, rotors, drive shafts, etc. And together they operate with unrivaled precision and efficiency. For example, the bacterial flagellum is a rotary motor so small that 35,000 of them laid end to end would take up only 1 millimeter. Its motor runs at a sizzling 100,000 revolutions per minute in one direction, 100,000 RPM in one direction. And it can stop in only a quarter turn to run just as fast in the opposite direction. Our machines are crude by comparison. That's why there's an entire research field called biomimetics, where scientists are studying biological machines so that we can design our own machines that mimic them. Nature does it better than we do. Nature. Somehow, you continue to run and create those marvelous microscopic machines in factories continuously. In the time it is taking you to read this sentence, you are creating 100 million new cells just to replace old cells that have died. That's about 25 million new cells every second. Keep in mind that all that biological choreography is happening inside of you right now without any conscious input from you. If your mind is not consciously directing all of that goal-directed activity, then what mind is? It's no wonder why a biophysicist and Nobel laureate Max Delbruck said, if the Nobel Prize could be awarded posthumously, I think they should consider Aristotle for the discovery of the principle implied in DNA. Biologist Ariel Roth put it this way, God never performed a miracle to convince an atheist because his ordinary works can provide sufficient evidence. Atheists want proof. They want undeniable proof for God. There you have it. I just read it. We can't create anything even close to that. And neither can undirected evolution. Atheists will say, well, if a person has never even been exposed to the Bible, how are they supposed to know about God? Actually, the Bible discusses that. In Romans 1, verse 20, Paul says, "For ever since the world was created, people have seen the earth and the sky. Through everything God has made, they can clearly see his invisible qualities, his eternal power and divine nature. So they have no excuse for not knowing God." And neither do scientists, because proof in God has been right under our noses the entire time, just the same as it has for everyone that's ever lived. It's been completely obvious.